Part 1. Stoicism as a bulwark in the storm. Hello, friend. Today we are going to talk about how to survive the darkest periods of our lives. How not to give up when it seems like the whole world is falling apart. How to find the strength to move on even if every step is painful. I will not just give you advice. Together, we will look into the wisdom of the Stoics and also turn to real stories of people who have gone through pain and emerged stronger. There are times in the life of each of us when it seems that everything is against us. The loss of loved ones, the breakup of a relationship, betrayal, health problems, loss of meaning, loneliness, financial collapse. It seems that you are alone against the whole world, but it is in such moments that inner strength is born, not ostentatious, not loud, real, quiet, deep, and stable. Stoic philosophy teaches us not how to avoid suffering, but how to be strong in its presence. Tip 1. Distinguish between what is in your control and what is not. Epictetus once said, "There are things that are in your control, and there are things that are not." This idea is at the core of Stoic practice. When you're caught in a storm, remember this: you can't control the wind, but you can control the sails. You can't change the fact that someone betrayed you. You can't stop a loved one from dying. You can't force the world to be fair, but you can always choose how you react. Real-life example, Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and concentration camp survivor, once said, "Everything can be taken from a person except one thing, the last of all human freedoms, to choose your attitude toward any given situation." This is what helped him survive hell. He created meaning in suffering. He refused to let circumstances destroy his inner freedom. Tip 2. Practice the dichotomy of control daily. Make it a habit. Take a piece of paper, divide it into 2 parts. On the left, write down everything that worries you. On the right, note which of these you can control. Let go of everything else. It is not your responsibility. This is a simple practice, but it brings back a sense of control in life. You begin to understand that even if there is chaos around, you have an island of stability: your reactions, your principles, your actions. Tip 3. Remember the transience of everything. Memento Mori. This may sound gloomy, but in fact, it is liberating. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You might not wake up. Remember this when you wake up. Everything is temporary, and pain too. When you realize that everything passes, that nothing lasts forever, you begin to treat suffering differently. You understand, this is not forever. Yes, it is hard now, but this is not a sentence. This is a process." History. J.K. Rowling, before creating Harry Potter, was on the edge. Divorce, poverty, depression, mother died. She said that rock bottom became the foundation on which I built my life. She didn't fight the pain. She allowed it to change her. Tip 4. Build inner strength through discipline and self-knowledge. The Stoics believed that virtue is what makes a person happy. Not wealth, not comfort, but character. When you train your mind like a muscle, you become resilient. It can be meditation, it can be journaling, it can be regularly reflecting. What have I done worthy today? Where was I weak? How can I do better tomorrow? Every morning is an opportunity to start with a clean slate. You don't have to be perfect. Just be mindful. Tip 5. Turn suffering into fuel. Nothing strengthens the soul like overcoming pain. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as difficulties harden the body." Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What can I do about it?" Story. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. He could have become bitter. He could have broken down, but he came out with a clear purpose and forgave those who put him in prison. His strength is a result of the suffering he went through. That was part 1. We talked about the philosophical foundation you can rely on during tough times. In the next part, we'll go deeper and talk about practical steps, daily habits and rituals that will help you weather the storm and emerge stronger, calmer, and wiser. Remember, friend, you are stronger than you think, and you are not alone. Part 2. Daily Practices and Habits for Resilience. Now let's talk about concrete steps, about daily actions that turn philosophy into power. These will not be magical rituals. These will be simple but powerful practices. They will not take away the pain, but they will give you a core, stability, and most importantly, a feeling that you are not floating with the flow, but holding the rudder yourself. Practice 1. Morning reflection. The mood before the storm. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning that he would meet rude, ungrateful, selfish people. This is not pessimism. This is a mood. This is armor against reality. You can start the day with a simple phrase, "Today, I may face difficulties, but I am ready. I will choose calm. I will remember that my reaction is my responsibility." Ritual. Get a notebook. Every morning, 5 minutes. Write down, what could go wrong? How do I want to behave? Who do I want to be despite the circumstances? This is an anchor. This is your starting point for the day. Practice 2. Evening self-observation is the mirror of the soul. Epictetus advised, don't let the day end without asking yourself, what did I do well? Where did I go wrong? What did I learn? Every evening is an opportunity to rethink. You don't judge yourself. You observe. As a philosopher, as a student of life. Ritual. 3 questions before bed. What was worthy in my actions? Where could I have done better? What will I take away from this day? Gradually, you will begin to see patterns. You will grow, not quickly, but steadily. Practice 3. Virtue as a compass in chaos. When everything falls apart, hold on to virtue. The Stoics believed in 4 main ones. Wisdom, the ability to see the essence of things. Courage, to act despite fear. Justice, to be honest, even if it is inconvenient. Moderation, to maintain balance. When you do not have a clear plan, ask yourself, what would be virtuous right now? A real-life example, a nurse in intensive care. Every day is stressful, but she said, When I don't know what to do, I just try to be kind. This is my compass. This is Stoicism in action. Practice 4. Negative visualization. Training the mind. This is one of the most unusual practices, but powerful. The Stoics advise to imagine the worst from time to time. Loss, illness, death, not to panic, but to prepare, to appreciate the present. You can close your eyes and imagine, what if I lost it tomorrow? What if this was my last day? Seneca wrote, "We suffer not because the terrible thing happened, but because we thought it wouldn't happen." A prepared mind is a resilient mind. Practice 5. Focus on actions, not results. The Stoics taught, you don't control the outcome, but you always control the effort. You may not win the battle, but you can fight with dignity. This is especially important when you're on the edge, when there is no guarantee of success, but you have a choice to act with dignity. Story. A man lost his business, everything, started from scratch. Every day he asked himself, what depends on me today? And took a small step. A year later, he got up again. Not because he was lucky, but because he did not expect results. He focused on the process. Conclusion. Resilience as a skill. Resilience is not an innate gift. It's a skill. It's built from habits, from repeated choices, from morning attitude, from evening analysis, from virtues, from being prepared for the worst, and choosing to do the right thing no matter what. You don't have to be iron. You can cry, you can doubt, but deep down, you can hold on, because you have principles, you have a path, you have meaning. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. If you are struggling, it's a sign that you are moving. It's not the ore that breaks, it's the character that is being forged. And if you watch to the end, know you have already begun the journey, and you are not alone on this path. See you later, friend.